Hey guys, welcome back to the show and welcome into my editing layer here. I'm sure you've seen it from some of my live streams in the past and tastings. But we're here today because this is the 1 year anniversary of my cocktail channel. So Rob's Home Bar is officially 1 years old. Cheers to that. So I figured we'd do something special for the 1 year anniversary. Let's talk whiskey because whiskey is my favorite spirit. As you can see, I've been obsessed with this guy right here, the Glenlivet Caribbean cask for the past couple weeks. Just an amazing whiskey, nice and fruity. Oh, so good. But today I want to talk about globally whiskey and something in particular. I want to talk about this. So this is my infinity bottle. So if you're passionate about whiskey or any spirit really, you really should start an infinity bottle. As you can see, obviously Odin is on the cover, is on the label, just like all my liqueurs. But yeah, so we're going to talk about what is an infinity bottle, how do you start one, why should you make one, and let's do it. So let's head over to the bar and discuss that. Sláinte. Okay, so we're talking whiskey. So what exactly is an infinity bottle? Well, an infinity bottle is basically a homemade blend of leftover whiskey. So when a whiskey gets down to its last few ounces, you dump it into a bottle, hence the name infinity. So there's mine right there. As you can see, Odin is on the label. So as long as you keep adding it, it'll never go empty, right? Shout out to the Never Emty Bottle. So go check out their channel. So why would you do this? Well, to understand why, you first need to understand that whiskey doesn't last forever. Whiskey evaporates and oxidizes, and the more air you have in your whiskey, the faster it evaporates. So let's start with a brand new bottle here. If it's unopened, theoretically it would last you forever. You can keep that bottle for a lifetime. But the moment you open it, you're starting to introduce some air. Even if you seal up the cork, there's still air in there, so you're still getting evaporation. So when you started drinking a whiskey and you're about a quarter to a third down, this whiskey will still last you 1 to 3 years easily. But then as you keep drinking it and you get it down to about the halfway mark, now you've got about a year and a half left. As you keep drinking it, more air in the bottle, more evaporation. When you're down to your last quarter or even your last fifth, the last little bit of that bottle, you've only got about 2-3 months before that whiskey is undrinkable. So what can you do at this point? Well, you've got a few options. Number one, you could finish it. You could drink it, make a cocktail, sip it, if there's more than a few ounces, have some friends over and finish off the whiskey. Or, as we're about to show you, you can add it, sacrifice it to an infinity bottle, and then it obviously will change the whiskey, but it will keep it. Okay. The one thing you do not want to do is put it on the shelf and forget about it, because that whiskey is going to go bad. I'm sure we all know that one uncle or whoever who's got like this much whiskey left in their cabinet. They're saving it for a special occasion. You tell that friend, that uncle, whoever, you tell them that, I'm sorry, but that whiskey is long dead. There's nothing good left in there. Okay, so we're going to add a couple of whiskeys here. I've got a bottle of Canadian Club here, just an ounce left. So that's going in the infinity bottle. So let's get a funnel and let's fill her. So if you're just starting out with an infinity bottle, kind of the annoying part though is you can't just start with leftovers, because otherwise you're just back at square one. If you're only adding leftover whiskey and you're only filling 2 ounces in the bottle, well then it's just going to start evaporating again. So, and I've got a Jim Beam here also down at the bottom, so that's going in as well. So if you're starting out, unfortunately you're going to want to sacrifice some whiskey, because you want to keep your infinity bottle at roughly 75%, 3/4 of the bottle full at all times. Otherwise, it's evaporating. So that's no good. So that's where I keep mine. So when I started out, I basically had I had some Canadian whiskey in there, filled it about a third of the way up. I had some bourbon, filled a third of the way up. And I had a couple kind of leftover bottles of Isla. So I created kind of a smoky bourbon rye blend. quite delicious. So how do I use my Infinity whiskey? Well, obviously I drink it. So in a Glencairn, I'm a big fan of drinking whiskey neat. So it's just, you know, it's like an always evolving whiskey. The taste is always different. Right now I've got lots of rye coming through, some sweet bourbon, kind of the core notes of bourbon, but I also got a few Islas in there, so I do get that nice peaty, smoky notes. So it's an enjoyable blend on its own, but it's always changing. Another way you can make this is cocktails. So make yourself a really good old-fashioned, make yourself a good whiskey sour, as we're making here. So whiskey, lemon, sugar, egg. If you want to see me make a whiskey sour with more direction, click that link below. But there it is, you know, an easy drink, and it's always going to have varying tastes because your whiskey is always going to evolve. There it is, guys. 2 ways to use your Infinity Bottle, neat or in a delicious cocktail. Well, guys, thank you once again. Here's to 1 year. Here's to over 1,000 subscribers. I'm so happy with everything I've been able to do this past year on the channel and with you guys, with everything. This amazing YouTube community, and here's to many more years. Sláinte, and cheers, guys. Man, that's good. That's a good blend.